Hello everybody, and welcome back to my sunroom here in East Tennessee. As you see, Big Red is starting to put on quite a show. He still has a lot of buds that are going to bloom out, but I had to show you what he's looking like now. These striking red blooms of this Thanksgiving cactus. Oh my goodness, I love this Thanksgiving cactus. I have noticed that since he's gotten bigger that he kind of blooms out in sections. So I have blooms for a very, very long time. So this is what he's looking like now. I just kind of wanted to give you some tips and pointers for December for your Thanksgiving and Christmas cacti. And also I'm going to show you what my Easter cactus looks like today. And here is my beautiful Snow White. She's about, well, she still has some buds, doesn't she? The interesting thing about this growing season is that here in East Tennessee, it has been unseasonably warm. So I've actually had to water mine a little bit more often than I have in the past. Lots of times when you have a fall and you're going into winter and it's warmer or colder than usual, you have to kind of adjust your care for these plants. I don't like them to get too dry because when they're blooming, they need that moisture. A blooming plant is a thirsty plant, so I'm not over watering them, but I'm just making sure that I lightly water them and drain them well a few times a week now. And here's a beautiful bloom on the peach Thanksgiving cactus that my friend Sharon in Arizona sent me. What a gorgeous plant. This is a very vigorous one as well. She said this one's kind of vigorous like Big Red. So next year this plant is probably going to be substantially bigger. Another thing to remember to do this time of the year, especially if you want yours to rebloom, like mine often do, is to remove the spent blooms. As soon as they start getting just kind of limp, I remove them from the plant. And a lot of times they will rebloom for you in a few months. Be careful though, like when you have a bloom that's beside a bud that's developing, be sure to pull that bloom off away from the bud, and then that will leave that bud there to be able to develop later. And of course, while they're blooming, that is not the time to repot them. It will actually just cause all of the buds and blooms to fall off of the plant. But in the springtime, when they're done blooming, that is the time to repot. And I have mine growing in Glacier Gold potting mix and small Orchiota bark from the Orchid Supply Store, who sponsors my channel. And when you place an order from them, if you use my coupon code Amy, you will receive a 12% viewers discount. And also you get free shipping in the United States. Another tip to keep in mind is when these are growing in a little bit of a cooler room, then the blooms are going to last longer and they're going to stay in bloom longer than when you have them in a very warm room. When you have them in a very warm room, they're only going to last, the blooms are only going to last about a day or two. So that's another thing to just keep in mind. And several of you have asked me about my Easter cactus. And keeping in mind that I've only had this plant for a year and it did not bloom for me in the spring because I watered it too much. So I really can't speak from experience much about how to get these to bloom. Once I get mine to bloom, I'll have a better idea. But the main idea about this is, from what my viewers who have been successful in growing these and blooming these, is from November 1st until Valentine's Day, that's February 14th, you're supposed to get a shrivel on these clades between minor watering. I am just misting mine pretty much. As you see, I misted mine today. Mine is limp. It has not shriveled yet, but I'm thinking if I had a cooler place to grow this, it would probably do better, but my house is warm. And the other challenge, let's say, about me growing this is I'm a waterer. I water things. For me not to water something is just really, really hard, but I'm going to really try this time. So according to Medical Pro 78, who has success in blooming these, I will link you to a video with the comment that Medical Pro 78 left. You just get a shrivel between minor watering, November 1st through February 14th. And she has decided she's going to bark today. Okay, all right. And also there are some comments from Nolan Holmberg and also Molly S. that are very helpful. Molly S. keeps hers in an extension to her kitchen that is not heated, so it's a little bit cooler. Again, that makes your blooms last longer. But with these plants, what I have noticed is it's not the change in temperature and light like with your Thanksgiving and Christmas cactus. It is the withholding of the moisture. As you all know, I don't skip watering with my Thanksgiving cacti anymore. I received several comments from people that said you don't need to do that, and actually I watered mine this October. I watered my Thanksgiving cacti last October, and they did great. As a matter of fact, I think they bloomed longer this year. These are not the same thing. This is the withholding of the moisture of the watering that will trigger them to bloom. You're stressing them just slightly, and that's what's triggering them to bloom. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. You all are such a blessing to me. And before I end this video, I'd love to say the blessing over you, your families, and your plants. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn His face towards you and give you His peace. You all make it a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.